Welcome, Laval!
Hi, Sammy.
Hi, Luigi.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm always great.
You are always great.
Yes.
We're always in a good mood, which is fantastic. We have an amazing show coming up.
Really amazing. I'm very excited. We have great guests, as usual.
Yes.
As usual, a very inspiring story by Sébastien Sperano. So you guys don't want to miss it.
That's important.
Truly.
We have Chantal
Bibot
from
La Fête des Pompiers.
La Fête des Pompiers, but she is the fire prevention chief of Laval also.
Absolutely. Girl power.
Yeah, so June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Can't wait to hear more about it.
Yes.
Then we have the Young Authors Contest. The winner, one of the winners from Saint Jude Elementary, Megan Morin, who interviewed our very own Frank Cavallaro from CBC.
From CBC Montreal.
Montreal. Just amazing. And can't wait to get them
she's
on the
so
set.
adorable. You guys are going to adore her. Truly, truly. Well-spoken, well-read, and my God, there's a calmness about her.
She's so calm, eh?
She is.
We have a chance of seeing them before the actual interview, like we did a few minutes ago, in what we call our green room, if you want. And it was cute, which actually
Trump
is the
will
white.
call it the locker room.
Yeah, the locker room, which or we call it the white room.
The white room.
The white room.
The white room.
So that's kind of interesting. So I have three great guests. Can't wait to get them on and to see what's going to come out of it. I'm quite excited on this one.
Yes. Are you guys ready to celebrate? We certainly are.
Sammy, we have an amazing tradition that's been going on over 10 or 11 years here in Laval, our very own
Fête des Pompiers.
And to talk to us about it, she's been on the committee from the original time it started. Chantal Bibot, our fire chief prevention specialist for Laval. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
you
for having me.
So excited to see that it's a woman who's in charge. Girl power.
There you go. There you go.
Tell us about this great, great tradition. I always like to know, how did it start? Who thought of it?
Actually, the Laval Fire Department Union started this way back 11 years ago. The first years that we did this, it was a collaboration, which is really unique in Laval, that the union and the fire chiefs, the bosses, got together, collaborate, and we get along really well in Laval. And 11 years ago in Sainte-Rose, à la Berge des Baigneurs, the initial idea was to get people to come where the water is there. There's like a nice river, riverfront there. And we had kids and families come in and we teach them what firemen do. People think that firemen put out fires, but there's so much more than we do. And we had them come in to see this, and at the same time, it's a perfect occasion for us to teach people about fire safety, because, you know, there's always incidents that happen, you know, and we want people to change their behavior, because sometimes we do things at home that is not very safe. We want to obviously talk about fire alarms and stuff like that.
Yes.
Excuse me. So initially, that's what we were doing. It was 11 years ago, and then it got bigger and bigger. And we had adjoined to that was a parade. So we have a lot of antique fire trucks that come in. And it was a small parade. It was in the old Sainte-Rose. It was all nice and cute and small, but extremely popular. So from one year to the other, it got so big that we said we have to change location. So we moved to Le Centropolis, which is a great location.
Definitely
very central, close to the autoroute. We have so many people that come from other cities to come visit us. So it's really a great event for families, for education, and for people to actually come in, as I told you, and see what firefighters do. There's a lot of different activities there.
Well, what does it evolve to today on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th? So what can we expect on the 2nd, the 3rd, and 4th of June?
It's a great question. Actually, on the Friday night, we have different shows. The common theme is always fire prevention, but there are shows in Centropolis, which is very festive. Then on the Saturday, it starts off with there's a parade, that same parade I was telling you about, but it's gotten so big. So this is like, we have, if you check our website, you'll see what the route is. So people will go all along the route, and all the children love to see all these fire trucks go by, and they wave to the firefighters.
So exciting, of course.
It's terrific. It's really, I've done it for 11 years, and every time that the parade comes into the Centropolis, I get goosebumps because kids are so happy to see firefighters, and they put the horns on, and then the kids are just so happy, and families
it's like
too.
Superheroes.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah,
Exactly,
really.
exactly.
So this happens on the Saturday morning, and then throughout the whole day, we have different ateliers. I don't know what the word is in English, but
Workshops?
Yeah, workshops. And you could see everything. We have an actual car that's set on fire, and then you could see how firemen go about to put it out. We have jaws of life when you're, unfortunately, I hope this doesn't happen, but when people are in a car accident and you're stuck in your car, who comes? Firefighters. And they have really specific protocols on how to get you out of the car within 5 minutes, and it's all like a whole really great demonstration of how they go about to do it. There's nothing improvised there, they all have their tasks to do. So we actually show this. If ever you come, we would put you in the car, and then we could have you be taken out by the firefighters. We do this we put a helmet on you, we put all the gear, but you would be really impressed to see when you're sitting in a car and they're cutting all
I think we need to do that, and I'll film you, because I know you want to be in the car.
Oh, no, you're in the car.
You want me?
We could do both of you if you want.
We're going to do
We'll use your car. We'll use your car.
I need to change. It's a good idea.
It's covered. It's covered.
We're all covered.
But it's good for people to see how impressive it is to be stuck in that situation, and how lucky we are to have resources come in and get you out of the car.
I'm sure that even if it's, it's arranged, you're going to get out of there, it must be...
Everybody I've seen who've done it,
goodness.
They came out and said, oh my God, when you hear the metal crack when they actually cut it with those big jaws of life, and when they cut the windshield and they break it, and we protect you, obviously, and we take you out, people say, oh my gosh, I hope I never have to go through this. So,
but it's good you're sensitizing the population on what you do, part of what you do, and all those different workshops. Chantal, the time is up.
Already.
There you go.
But before we end, can you let us know where to get all the information? We know Fête des Pompiers is on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of June. And do we go on the city website?
Exactly. You go there, and then it will redirect you if you want to do the races on the Sunday, because there are races on Sunday.
That you can register?
Marathon, half marathon, so you can register, and it will redirect you to everything, and you'll see. I just told you about a couple of things we're doing. There's a long list of other ateliers that we have.
Activities and workshops. And
Ville de Laval website, and you get the info you need. Thank you so much
for
being able to be with us today and educating us on this great event, this beautiful tradition.
Absolutely.
It's
exciting.
A tradition. Yes. We'll see you there. We'll be there.
See you there for sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sammy, we have two great guests.
Absolutely. It's very exciting when we receive the young authors.
I know. It's a pet project of ours that we started a few years ago, and it's evolving, but what the students get out of it is amazing, and we'll get a testimony right now. But first, let's introduce our guests.
Absolutely. So we do have Mr. Frank Cavallero from CBC Montreal. Thank you so much for being with us.
Nice to be here.
And we have Megan Miron.
A student from St. Jude Elementary in de Montagne. So congratulations, number one, and welcome to be on the show.
Thank you.
I think I'm more excited than you. I'm like, oh my goodness, I cannot wait to hear about the experience and if you recommend it to anyone.
Oh, yes.
Would you?
Tell us about your experience. Why did you participate in the Young Authors Contest to be a journalist for a day?
Well,
First of all, I want to thank my teacher, Miss Mann, because she's the one who introduced the contest to our class. And I was really curious about it. And so I'm like, well, why not? You know, maybe it would be a cool experience. So I decided to participate, and I ended up winning. So I thought that was really great.
How long did you have to wait to get an answer? Was it long?
Yeah, it was a bit long, so I thought maybe I didn't make it. I wasn't sure, about maybe close to a month, maybe.
Oh, that's
But,
long when
yeah.
you're waiting for good news like this. But it was worth the wait, wasn't it?
Yes.
How was your, you were mentored by an editor
Oh, yes,
of Laval
Lisa.
Families, Lisa
Yes.
Tripiani. So tell us about that experience.
Oh yes. We scheduled like Monday and Friday. She called me and we would practice, and she would pretend to be Mr. Caballero, and she would ask questions, and I'd have to write down the notes, and so it really did help. And what I liked about her is that she was calm and patient, and she didn't, because there's some people that are like, you have to get this right and all that, but she was just calm with me, and so
She helped you
It was
ease
fun.
in through the process.
yes, so it really did help me.
It makes a big difference. She's amazing. Lisa
Yeah.
is really amazing.
Yeah, very,
We say hi to you, doll.
Lisa, great job. Frank, how did you find being interviewed? Is this the youngest journalist you ever had being interviewed by?
No, once I was at an elementary school, and we had younger kids asking questions. Some were funny questions, some were serious questions. But Megan did a good job. She asked me some interesting questions.
You enjoyed the experience?
Yeah, I did. She was well prepared, put it this way. So she one day could become a journalist if she puts her
She
head
would
to it.
put her mind to it. What
Wow.
impressed you the most, Frank, of this experience, all in all?
She wasn't too nervous, which is good, because most of the time you get nervous when there's a microphone in front of you. She wasn't nervous. She was prepared. I think she rehearsed and practiced, which is what you have to do. Practice makes perfect. So.
Great job. Megan, how did you feel the day of the interview? Now
Oh.
you've researched
Yes,
about
but
Frank from A to Z.
I was so nervous still.
She didn't show it. She didn't show it.
Show it. That's great.
Everybody says I looked so calm and all. I'm like, I was
It's true.
panicking, but
Like a swan. You were like a swan.
I was so nervous inside. But turns out, on the outside, I'm super calm. So that's good.
That's excellent. What did you learn about that experience and about yourself?
Oh, I learned that, well, that like, it helps, well, I would say it helps to socialize and,
To interact?
yes, and also to like learn about people and learn their ways of doing things and also their job. Sometimes it can give us a little hint about what it is.
It gives you
what
a
it
new
feels
respect
like.
for this person.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's what I liked about it.
And what are one or two points that you learned about Frank Caballero that you weren't aware of before?
Well, I know that he had to shave his mustache. That I know, because when he had to do his job, and that was the funny part.
So you weren't expecting him to have no mustache? Is that what you're saying?
No, I told her that when I started, I had a mustache, and one of my first bosses said it'd be better if you shave it off.
It was like our
in
little
a
joke.
nice way. So I did it in a nice way, and I really had no choice. I was pretty well told, shave your mustache, you'll look younger, you'll look better. But I wanted to keep it. It was my mustache. But back then, when I started, you know what? Today, I don't know if you can get away with stuff like that. I mean, if you have a beard, whatever. But I didn't want any problems. I just shaved it off, and it was a big shock. I went home and I had no mustache, and after having a mustache all those years. So yeah, and I guess that that caught her attention.
It was like a little
It suits you
inside
well,
joke.
Frank. It suits you well.
Thank you.
Was it? Oops,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Was it really? Because I mean, you're like we said, you prepared, you rehearsed, but on the spot, right? It's live. Did you had in your mind a certain image of what you wanted? Did you had a focus of this is my goal, this is what I want at the end of the day from this interview?
Well, I kind of expected it to be a bit like that. Well, I did have an image in my head, but I kind of knew it would be in a room a bit, you know, with big table and all that.
You were doing it for the fun of it
Yeah,
and
yeah,
really
for the
making
fun of
sure
it.
that this opportunity that was given to you, you would just grab it and go with it with all your heart.
Yes, and also a big reason why I participated is to help me in my life later on. Maybe it's like exactly the job I'm looking for, and now it's like because I experienced it, I know how it is, and so it helps me later on in life. That was a big point why I decided to join it.
What did your friends say after the experience?
Oh, well, they asked me that the main question, were you nervous? And yes, I was. And well, they were telling me that I was really lucky, and they were proud of me and made me
You
feel
have
proud.
to be proud of yourself.
yes,
It's a
of
big
course.
experience,
Absolutely.
right?
It is. It's good what she did. I mean, you know, even though I didn't think she was nervous, but I guess inside she was. This is good because now she has an idea of what it's like to interview someone, and if one day she wants to be an interviewer, she already has some experience.
Some experience. Did you you accepted to say yes to the interview? What made you say yes?
Well, I know that a lot of students out there are curious, they're intrigued about the media, being on TV, being on radio. So it was just plus I wanted to see what questions Megan was going to ask me, and she asked me some important questions, and I answered. Some were funny, like the mustache, but it was a good experience.
It's a way of giving back also,
Yes,
right?
I do a lot
We're
of these,
so blessed when what we do.
schools and stuff. So no, it was good, and she did a great job. I mean, she's young and she has a bright future.
And we thank you for saying yes right away. Though we love that. We thought of you right away. You were on our list.
The coffee and donuts were good. So.
All inclusive. All inclusive. Megan, would you recommend that to all your classmates?
Oh,
Because we're
yes.
coming back for next year, right? So
They
we're going to
should try.
continue the young authors, both
Oh.
for elementary and for high school. So we urge everybody to register, even register now.
I recommend people who don't really have a point, well, that they're not sure which job they want to do, and maybe it can give them an idea and a great experience at the same time, like organized people and like people who want to have a bright future, who's looking for like an idea of a job or
An idea of what career they may have, whether it's
Yeah.
in journalism, writing, or
Absolutely.
doing interviews.
People who like to write, and especially in that, because it's a lot of work, like writing down the answers that you ask the person, and well, you have to be organized. It's
So you learned a lot, right?
Absolutely. Well, you're going to have a brilliant career, I am sure. You're very well read, very well spoken, and you seem very calm even now. Even now, very impressive.
She's extra calm.
Absolutely.
Megan, thank you. Frank, thank you.
You're welcome. Nice to be
You're
here.
welcome.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here, and thank you for accepting the opportunity not only to write but to do the interview and to be part of the TV show. We love it.
Luigi,
Sammy.
we have Sebastian Sperano from the Sperano group of Remax. I think he's the most popular group. I don't know about the other groups
He
out
is
there, but
definitely well known,
yes,
and
he is.
he has many talents. One of them is that he writes. He writes the Broker's Desk on Laval Family magazine.
Yes.
And there's a specific article that meant a lot to him. And when you read it, it means a lot to anybody that reads it. So we're going to ask him all these questions on that. Sebastian.
Tricky questions. Are you ready?
Tough.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Sebastian, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Luigi. Thank you, Semilin. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes.
As a you have a man of many hats. Well, we're going to talk about the one of a writer. You wrote a great article, When There's No Wind, Row. Tell us that story.
Okay, well, definitely it's a story that's very dear to me. It's dear to my heart. I actually filmed a little video on it and decided to write that as my first article in the Laval Families. A little while ago, a couple of years ago, I had met a client through real estate. And it was a very tricky house to sell. We spent a lot of time together. We did a lot of visits. We did everything that we could to sell that property. And we did sell it, but it took about a year. And in that time, we became very, very good friends. His name is Michel Bolzuc. He was a retired businessman. He had been the president of a company. He was a wise man, and he became sort of like an advisor for me. I would just show up to his house. I wouldn't even knock. I'd just walk in, make myself a coffee, and we'd start to talk. And, you know, I'd come to see him basically for anything that I wanted to do, any new projects, anything to do with real estate, my business. We developed a very close relationship. And a little while after, I graduated from a second program in real estate to get my broker's license so that I can own an office and so on and so forth. And so to congratulate me, Michel had bought me a gift. Now, that gift was a beautiful model ship from the Blue Nose, the one on the 10 cents, which at that time I wasn't really into shipbuilding. I was touched by the gesture, but I sort of put it aside. And, you know, I sort of forgot about it. Unfortunately, Michel passed away, and, you know, that was something that was, you know, it was a tough time. But I always, you know, remembered the good advice that he gave me. Fast forward 2012, I'm taking on a whole bunch of projects. I bought a property in the States. I'm building my house. We're developing our team. And at one point, I felt that I had maybe taken on more than I can chew. And it was at that time that I was thinking, man, I wish Michel was around because, you know, he'd tell me this or he'd tell me that. And because I was thinking of Michel, I says, well, you know what? I was with my son. I says, let's build that model ship that Michel gave me that had been in my basement for 2-3 years. And so I take it out and we start building it. And I'm thinking about him. I'm having a conversation with him, even though he's not there. And as I'm opening it, I find this little note that he had put in the ship. Now, I had never seen this. It's been there for a couple of years. And on the note, it said this. It said, Captain Sperano, congratulations for your new diploma. That's how he would call me, the captain. And he said, if there's no wind, row. And at that time, I mean, these are the words that Michel would have told me. He says, it's fine, you've taken on a lot. Just work a little bit harder, push through. And, you know, that timing was phenomenal. I had goosebumps, showed my son, and to this day, this ship is in my office, and this is what I tell my team. You know, we take on a lot of projects. I mean, I think anybody who's in business for themselves or who has a project, there's going to come a time where you hit a wall.
Of course, it's not easy.
It's not easy. And that's what it is. When there's no wind, row. And that's the story.
I love it.
Beautiful story.
It's very dear to my heart, yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It is
I
truly
thought
inspiring.
It's inspiring, and it's a beautiful message.
Timeless.
He was one of your mentors,
Yes.
and I know you have maybe one or two that you always confide in. How important it is to have a mentor in someone's life? Do you recommend it?
There's like Laval magazine, it's priceless. You need to have, I think, an exterior point of view. My father often tells me, he says, you know, sometimes when you're dealing with the situations, like you have your nose up against a tree, you don't see that there's a forest in front of you.
Sure.
So someone who's in a different position, who's maybe gone through what you're going through, or from a different perspective, will help you, you know, pass through these events. So yeah, it's very important. I don't think that you can go out saying, I want a mentor. I think these are the sort of things that happen naturally. It's organic.
Absolutely.
You know, but if you're open to it, I think that you know, the teacher presents itself when the student is ready to learn.
I couldn't agree more.
I think that's well said.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Good timing.
Well, Sebastian, our time is up.
Already.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
And,
thank you for coming and shared this story. We're going to ask you to come back on another date.
With pleasure, anytime.
And, we have other questions we want to ask you. I mean, you're interesting in the real estate market and some advice for our dear viewers. So, Sebastian, thank you again.
Always available.
And,
My pleasure.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you, guys.
We just finished an amazing show.
Another amazing one.
Another amazing one.
It's always a party. To be with you guys, we have so much fun doing the pre-prod of all of our episodes.
I think so. One of the things that
I think so. He's not sure. Hold on, he's going to
Hold on,
consult
let
with
me-
whoever.
Let me get back. I believe this is the way to do it. Yes. One thing that I'm seeing in every time we do our pre-production time and we work on the shows, we always want to make sure every show is original, every show is great, the guests are comfortable.
And then we highlight you, Laval.
We highlight the
right?
community, the mirror of the Laval community, and definitely, and today's another great example that what we see is we have amazing people in this community,
Yes.
and we're able to represent them here and showcase what they do, what they did, and I think it's just amazing to see the results and the reaction from all
Absolutely.
these guests, whether they're in elementary school like Megan Morin, or experience whether CBC Montreal weatherman Frank Cavallaro. It's just incredible the talent that we have.
We have a lot of talents. You know, I invite you guys to reach out to us on social media, give us your opinions. We want to hear from you. We really do. We really do. And if we're not covering a subject that you would like to hear about, by all means.
Please.
Right?
Absolutely. And the show is available not only on TVRL-E1702 Videotron, but it's also on YouTube and on Laval Family TV show. So spread the word, share the video, share the episodes with your friends, family, share it on your Facebook.
We're here for you guys.
And let us know what you want to see on the show, and we'll do our very best to in the episodes that follow.
And if you don't see it happening, it's because of him. He's going to, no, I'm just joking, He's always saying yes.
We will make it happen together.
We will, absolutely.
Thank
We're
you,
working
and we'll
for
see you next week.